Let me see what time it is. 7:09. I was trying to do this all in one day, but I was asleep. I said I was going to do it the other day, but I still had to pray about it. Decide what I want to do. This is a continuation from the last video, but like I said, I keep losing my place because I have to remember, because I got it all in my head what it is I'm trying to say, and now everything that happened. So I'm in jail. Then they diagnosed me with schizophrenia. I hadn't said anything to them about seeing shadows walking through the walls, but one of the psychiatrists asked me, he said, "Do you hear voices from the radio?" I said, "If you turn it on." I didn't know what in the world he was talking about, voices from the radio or something. But they sent me to St. Johnson's Institute, Medical Institute or something. And I was there, and I went into one of these rooms, and this girl that was a student came in there and asked me to count backwards from 100. And I said, like, I was counting 100, 99, 98, 97, 96. I think when I got to the 80s, I said like 88, 85 or something. I missed the number. And she was like, "Okay, that's enough. You can stop counting." So I don't know what other tests they were running over, behavioral tests, behavioral analysis. Basically, I didn't do anything abnormal. I went to my room, woke up when they said woke up, took the medication, sat down, tried to work out when they sent us to the workout, but I was stiff. They was doing this little workout video. I couldn't really work out to that. But I stayed there for about a week. Then they sent me back to jail. What happened was I stayed from January to May, and I pled guilty to stealing a car. I think they said something about I had to pay a $1,200 fine. I still haven't paid it. I'm on disability. I don't even have a job. I tried to get a job, but I think that it's kind of hard to get a job if you don't have an education. I did graduate high school, though. Trying to go back to school so that I can get a job. I'm in the process now of, because we know it's just behavioral analysis, getting a CAT scan done to see if there are some indications in my brain showing schizophrenia, because I said I don't have schizophrenia. I think it's what I'm seeing in experience is spiritual. I don't know, maybe anybody that says that's been diagnosed with schizophrenia or bipolar, you can just say it's spiritual, unless you got something natural to show it, that your brain is large, or something, a chemical imbalance in your blood. From the place that I've gone now, they haven't shown me or told me any abnormalities in my blood. They don't even give me the test results when they do the blood test, other than that we see this amount of Risperdal in your blood system, that it's the right amount, or it's not the right amount, or have you been taking your medication. So I want to pay closer attention to things like that as I do my own research to try to figure out what exactly are you looking for in my blood, and are you just waiting to see if I have a negative reaction to the drugs and have some kind of side effect. But they diagnosed me with schizophrenia, and they put me on medication. And they, like I said, they said this is about the time that something like this happens, that you diagnosed with schizophrenia. This is the age that it comes about. And one of the police officers, as she was driving me to the place to get my records and everything together, she said, "We just don't think you know what you were doing when you stole that car. How'd you end up all the way here in North Carolina?" I don't know why she said that. I drove. I stole the car and I drove. I don't even get that. But I didn't look like I was okay. I had been in my room, like I said, fasting and praying. about what had happened at the ministry, and I hadn't combed my hair. I was in sackcloth and ashes. So I had my hair braided back, and it had grown out. I had 5 big braids. My clothes were dingy. I had on a duck head, orange and white shirt that was old. I had on some sweatpants and some black sweatpants and some nice running shoes. And when I got to the hospital after I had been in jail, the girl put my stuff in the dryer. She put my shoes in the dryer, in the washing machine, tore them up. I was so mad about that. It had me walking around with flip-flop Nikes now. But anyway, that happened. I spent 5 months in jail. I think they let me go because of the disability. Because I think and they charged me with a misdemeanor instead of a felony. I count that a blessing, but I still feel like I wanted to do the whole year. But they even if they had wrote it down as a felony, instead of them diagnosing me with some kind of disease or mental illness, but I feel like because I've done so well to cope with this, and I still manage a prayer life, that God was using it all for my good. Even the fact that of what happened to me at WGC, I'm talking about it now. I used to cry about it all the time. I used to be like, I don't have friends. These people did me wrong. How could they lie to me, lie about me like that? How could they spread rumors on me like that? I thought they were supposed to be Christ. I even wrote to Sister Perry, telling them about what happened. Just put my emotion out there, and I said, Sister Perry, I know you love me. You prayed with me. I can feel the love of Christ on the inside of you. I know you care about me. Thank you for praying with me. And anybody that genuinely loves God has been through some things, but they have a heart after Christ, and they have compassion. They have mercy. They have sympathy for you. They're not the ones that's jealous and envious of you. They're trying to get you to your next level because they understand that nobody's perfect. And that's somebody that's true. They say real friends stay down. If they fall off along the way, they wasn't real for you, and you gotta let it go. But because I was young, that really did hurt, because I felt like my future was wrapped up in WGCL and the prophetic anointing, the fact that I had met Sister Perry and Prophetess Bynum on the same day, and I had been having dreams about them, feeling like, okay, God, this is you. And even when I went to the Miracle Crusade where Prophetess Bynum was preaching, she preached a message, said, you're chosen. He said, all them dreams you've been having, you ain't crazy. It's God trying to reveal specified things to the chosen. She talked about the furnace of affliction. And he said, after God finished speaking, and they got to go the total opposite of what he said. And they go the trying of your faith, not the trying of what God said. He said, I want to see if in the midst of opposition, do they still believe what I said? And she spoke, and she said, what they need is a prophet to call forth their destiny. She said, I hear somebody calling my destiny into being. But anyway, she preached. It was such great fun. And just a blessing to hear the word of God. It's like when somebody's on point with God, it registers with your spirit. It registers with what you're going through at that time. It dispels all the doubt that you feel about situations that you may be in, whether or not God is real or not. Because I know most of us has been in that place where, like, I hate God. Why did God let this happen? I could have been like that about my cousin. Why did God let him die like that? And I have anytime questioned that as I've grown up through the years. But so I got out in May of 2007, went home. They put me on Zyprexa, and I'm taking this medication for a while. But I was upset with it because I didn't want to be on the medication. I felt like I was fine. I felt like the stress, and I'm not going to say, well, yes, I have schizophrenia, and medication is being on medication is the thing that you need to do in order to make your life right. I don't. That's my opinion. I think there's so many underlying issues as to stress and frustrations, and I even did the research to say that, there could be other things going on in your system, like low blood sugar, low B vitamins, sleep deprivation, that could cause hallucinations or auditory or visual. But then, if you're a spiritual type of person, you say, speaking of the prophetic and being able to see visions and to see things in your dreams. Daniel had visions, and where the angels came to visit him, and where God was speaking it prophetically. In the Bible, when God spoke to the prophet Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah, they saw visions. So what do I believe? And say, whose report do you believe? You're seeing a vision and you don't understand it. Do you seek out God for understanding, or do you just go crazy? So many people have committed suicide, have lost their minds, but that doesn't mean that you have to. You trust. You see, the trust God or die. God is your sure place. So I went home. My mom came with her boyfriend with the baby, because by that time she had it. I said, "Hey, little baby, I'm your sister." And we went to Golden Corral, and then we drove back home. Then we were in the apartment, and then she got pregnant maybe 3 months later, because the babies were born. The second baby was born a month apart. So now it's 2 more babies. So it's me and my 4 younger brothers. I'm the oldest. It's like, oh my God, 2 more babies. It's hard to take care of babies. It's hard to raise a family, to get food on the table, to pay the bills for that many people. And we were in a 2-bedroom apartment trying to make it work. They trying to make their relationship work. It didn't work. I don't even know how they got together. He was an attractive guy when he was younger. I guess she just got sucked in. Baby, I love you. Baby, I love you. They just head over heels for each other, but it didn't work out where they would get married. They still maintain a relationship because they share children, but okay, so it's 2008 now. Got 2 babies. I'm still on medication, but I'm getting sick from the medication. Like, from all the side effects. And I felt so much better not taking the medication. I was healthy. I got healthy. I got Mitch 10 Perfect 10 workout. I lost 30 pounds because when I was in jail, I went up to 180 pounds. They were feeding us fried chicken, mashed potatoes, eggs, big old biscuits, milk, orange juice. Orange juice in the morning, milk for lunch, tea for dinner. I got fat. I was like 135 when I went in. I came out 180. So I lost all that weight. I was drinking tea and water, taking the boost, green tea boost vitamin, working out to the Mitch 10, doing push-ups on the G-ball. It was like a little ball that weighed 2 pounds, and you would do workouts with the ball or whatever. So I lost the weight. I felt like I was doing good. And then I would take time to sing gospel songs. I would sing like for hours, mostly with CC Winans, and sing the songs in my room, in the room, one of the rooms. The boys were in the living room, and the babies were in there with she and her boyfriend. But I felt like I was doing okay. But you see how environment plays a part in your overall well-being. And how I told you about all of what I experienced as a child growing up. It worked out into stress. No matter how positive you're trying to be, and if you have a negative influence around you, fussing and arguing all the time, complaining about the bills not being paid, all kinds of stuff, it wears you down. And then, like what they say about schizophrenia, that you're going to be on medication for the rest of your life. I was like, for the rest of my life. And basically all the medication does is suppress your symptoms. I've recently been looking up videos and stuff about other people that have taken Risperdal and been diagnosed with mental illness, and going into what it is basically a theory. There's no real scientific proof about it, but I did see a video with a movie with Diana Ross, and at the end of the video, it was talking about schizophrenia, and it showed a brain in the process of 10 years how it degenerated. I actually asked one of the doctor that I'm with now, where I told her, because they ask you, how are you doing, what are you plan on doing, what's going on in your life, and I told her that I'm thinking about getting the CAT scan just to prove to myself whether or not I have schizophrenia. She told me they can't tell you whether it's here in your brain, right here in your brain, right here in your brain. They're not able to tell by a CAT scan what's going on in your brain. They only do that on dead people, and she basically told me that is redundant and unnecessary for me to get a CAT scan, but just to keep taking the medication. So they basically offer no hope. And the therapist, even though she listens, they basically leave you to yourself and just give you medication and check up on you. So I think, from what I look at it like, it's like self-medication and a slow suicide instead of just killing yourself all at once. Because basically after you take that medication for so long, it wears your body down. Because I think that nobody should be on medication for the rest of their life. That underlying issues should be dealt with, if it can be, to really treat you. And then I was looking at homeopathy, natural drugs that you can take, because I was talking to her, and I told her that I want to take some natural medicines. I don't like the Risperdal because of the weight gain and the fact that I don't have my periods. And she was like, there is no cure for schizophrenia. So, you see how it is. Just listening to that, how if you go monthly or every 2 months and hear somebody say that to you constantly, it feeds into your brain. And one of the things that happens is that what the Bible says, faith comes by hearing. And the fact that your thoughts are shaped by what you hear and how you perceive reality. And so I'm thinking, what are you speaking into my spirit, and where are you directing my footsteps go? But I said to her, when she said that, I said, that's your opinion. I said, you're one of many doctors, but whatever. But I had situations where I didn't take the medication, and I see visions. I dream dreams. Sometimes I don't know how to handle them, because it can be while I'm awake and I hear demonic voices or I hear angelic voices. And it just gets frustrating to be so in tune with what's going on around me. Then you can pick up, if somebody you spiritual, you can pick up on the people around you, what's going on in them. So I really